couples who have moved in together, what surprised you most about living with a male or female? The hair, man. It gets everywhere. My wife often leaves the bathroom apologizing for how much of her hair gets everywhere. She hates it too. Seriously, I found her hair wrapped around my balls and had to untangle it. I was almost convinced she was putting it there when I was sleeping to F with me. He peed in the sink. That's all. My husband will take the dog for a wee out back before bed, and I'm pretty sure he pees off the edge of the deck in solidarity, or maybe just to remind the dog it's his house. Edit, showed this to my husband. He says, I don't have to have a dog to pee outside. My ex-wife had really long hair, and I was constantly pulling 3-foot long strands out of my mouth. The worst was a maddening itch in my eye that I kept rubbing and rubbing until I realized I was pulling a hair out of my eye socket. Inch after inch I pulled out, feeling it tugging from under my eyeball. How the F did it get in there? It's no mystery, this shit is everywhere. That your partner may follow you around the house just because. Please stop following me. I'm not following you. Then what did you come in this room to do? I don't have to explain myself to you. How different our visions of clean are. My girlfriend has a hard time being alone. When we're home, basically every waking minute she wants to be together. I love her with all my heart, but sometimes I just want to be alone doing my own thing for an hour or two. Watching sports, playing guitar, gaming, etc. But when I leave for another room, I can hear the disappointment in her voice. I'm working on getting her to understand my need for occasional alone time. How often I would be helping her find her car keys. Eventually, I put up a hook that I was able to get her in the habit of using. Made me tear up a little at the time, but a couple weeks after we split, I remember getting a text from her that said, I miss being able to find my keys. How much I actually talked to myself. I never had any roommates, aside from one for like the first 2 weeks in college, before I got moved to a single room. So I was used to just talking to myself out loud like nothing. After we moved in together and she kept asking, who are you talking to? And did you say something? I realized that I actually talk to myself quite a bit. I didn't realize that I'll just say things out loud that humor me or I find interesting. Like driving down the road and I see a funny license plate, I'll just say it out loud. My significant other started laughing and asked me why I was saying like one-word phrases randomly. I asked my brother about it and he was like, yeah, you've always done that. I always knew women went through toilet paper faster than men, but I never knew how much faster they did. It got to the point I would just grab a pack of toilet paper whenever I went to the store for any reason. We may not be out at home, but we will soon be, I reckoned. And I was never wrong about that. You are supposed to get the giant mega pack of like 36 rolls. Everything has a decorative pillow on it. They are too small to be used for anything, and I'm not allowed to throw them on the floor or pile them all on one chair. The bed has a bunch and a long tube thing. I'm not allowed to whack her with the tube thing. Where did this come from? Why do we need them? If they're just in the way, can we put them in storage? No? Okay babe, whatever you want. For me, how subtle the need for alone time crept up on me. I wasn't unhappy in the slightest and moving in was natural, but over time I felt myself becoming irritable and it turned out that I tend to get that way when I don't have time to myself because I went from being alone in my room after work in my parents' house to being around my significant other pretty much every minute I'm not at work or driving, so I found myself with someone almost 24/7 and it took a toll. Thankfully, once I recognized that, it was easier to manage. What do you do to manage it? I'm worried about this in future relationships without saying, leave me alone. To be honest, once I figured it out, I just explained it to my significant other. Thankfully, he's very understanding. And to be honest, I don't even get that much time alone than before, but just acknowledging it and how it affects my mood helped a lot. Having my partner understand that and offer to give me some space if I felt that way ended up making it so that I didn't feel that way as often. I imagine in an apartment that isn't just a studio, it's much easier to manage, since there would be other rooms to have to yourself. I always thought of women as tidy and organized. That was until I moved in with one. I swear I spent 20 minutes a day helping significant other tidy up the mess she creates in the first hour every morning. Then another 10 minutes every day searching for brushes, hair bands, makeup, clothes, etc. I thought if I ever moved in with a girl, I would have to be way less of a slob. Turns out I'm the neat freak in this relationship. No matter how long you've been together or have known each other, you truly don't know the person. person. I still love my husband dearly, but I wish he knew what the laundry hamper is. My husband knows what one is. It's the thing right next to his pile of dirty clothes. What an absolute master chef he is. I thought I was a great cook until we moved in together and he started making meals. Blew my effing mind. Now I think back to when we first started dating and he would eat my cooking and say it was the best he had ever had. The little liar brings a smile to my face. My first roommate was a girl. She was the slobbiest person I've ever met. She had been a co-worker for ages and was always neat at work. It was stunning. Her bedroom was just a pile of clothes. The living room was clothes and jackets everywhere. Half-drank cups of water, you name it. I loved living with her. It was a very comfy mess. My wife is quite a bit of a neat freak and has a cute little temper. Sometimes I wanna live like Charlie and Frank. I had that for a year. His ability to be doing nothing. He can lay on the couch and stare at the ceiling and do nothing and think nothing, and he enjoys it. I would pull a muscle or pop something from the strain if I tried to do that. Edit, thanks for the awards. I read it so he can do nothing in peace. Sitting in the passenger seat and just stare at the roads, not saying anything. Why are you so quiet? Are you upset? What's wrong? Sorry, I was in the middle of a heated argument with myself. I was trying to determine if using slices of French toast still count as a grilled cheese or a melt. I had exactly 2 pillows in my entire house before my now wife moved in. She has 4 just on her side of the bed. There are pillows on the couch. Every chair has a pillow. We have a closet where the top shelf is more pillows. Admittedly, I am this woman. Not cushions but pillows and fluffy blankets. Our house is Comfort Cove, where you can snuggle and nap anywhere. We basically live like cats. We haven't moved in together and my boyfriend has his own place. It's sterile. It only has the furniture he needs and nothing else. I bought him a little plant, but it gets lost in the vast emptiness. In contrast, my house is full of soft things and it just feels more like a home than a long-term hotel. Moving in together would be interesting if he wasn't so wonderfully nice. How messy women can be. I mean, there is hair everywhere. The sink looks like a disaster area after she cleans her face at night. Every time she gets water, she gets a new cup and leaves the old one out. Not even in the sink with other dishes. Her shower has like 27 old bottles of shampoo with a dad amount left in each. There are ponytail holders all over the house. I think the cat shit one out this morning. But she makes the bed every morning, so I think it's alright. He doesn't take the initiative to kill the creepy crawlies that waywardly stray into our apartment. If he sees a house centipede, he looks at it, then promptly turns tail and walks away. Won't even tell me the damn thing is there. I am a girl who grew up having to call dad to kill spiders and bugs and shit, so it's weird that I now have to be the one to viciously murder every insect who comes inside. Having a helper. I'm always fixing or building something, and as it turns out, my girlfriend is always ready to be a great helper. She's like the kid I don't have. Pass me this, hold this. Did you learn anything? Think you could do that yourself in the future? It's more fun to share a project and teach than it is to accomplish by myself anyway. I think it's good for both of us. But seeing tiny black rubber bands showing up all over the floor is a downside. LOL. I think she uses them for her hair. The amount of toilet paper women use is staggering. I understand you need it and I'm not complaining about it to my wife, but the amount used is crazy. I feel so bad for any married man that has multiple daughters as well. That man could retire 20 years earlier if not for money spent on toilet paper. How little opinions he had on anything. I would ask what he wants for supper. I don't care. I asked what he wants to do tonight. I don't know. Last week I asked him what he thought about getting my nose pierced. I don't give a shit what you do. Sometimes it would be nice to not have to decide or come up with suggestions all the time. Thank you a lot for watching the video. We're getting close to 500 subscribers, so if you liked the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.